Good evening. I'm sitting in a chair.
And my name's not important right now. What is important is that you're watching the launch of the Vietnamese production of The King and I on the West End. What is important is that you're watching Sketch Me My Legs. Whatever that is.
So you're looking for a job, are you?
Yes, that's right.
Found one yet?
No, that's why I'm here.
Well played. So, why do you want to work at Tesco exactly?
I mean, why does anyone want to work at Tesco? The mystery, the adventure, the sex, the peril.
Right, well the answers you gave me to the questions I asked before the cameras were turned on were quite satisfactory. How tall are you?
Fairly fluently, but my pronunciation's a bit off.
Speak any foreign languages?
6'1".
Any interesting quirks that I should have just noticed?
I have a tendency not to listen to people's questions, and as such the answers sometimes end up staggered in an amusing way, but it's purely coincidental when that happens, of course.
Right, well, we here at the Tesco Careers Office have a motto. Just pick anyone. And so far I have to say you're looking like a shoo-in. But of course that isn't to say it's not a very big commitment, coming in occasionally and moving stuff around the place. Most of the trainees crack after the first few years of basic training.
Basic 2 years?
Yes, the mortality rate has been coming down since we discontinued the stage where we forced them to eat only the food they could find in our stores, but it's still something of a via dolorosa. There's facial surgery, there's waterboarding, it's in the Falkland Islands, you see.
That sounds awful.
I am sorry, I shouldn't have had that on in the first place.
No, I mean the 2 years basic training. You don't have any part-time jobs at all?
I don't think so.
Nothing on the cards at all?
Well, there is another interview sketch thing set up in the next room. Perhaps you'll have better luck with that.
Thank you. Just through here?
No, just through there.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ah, Mr. Johnson. Take a seat. I've had a look over your resume. Well, I'm a little bit concerned about your lack of experience. You've never held a UK driver's license, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm also a little bit concerned about your history as a medical test subject. But enough exposition. Tell me, how would you rate your driving?
It's not very good, I'm afraid.
Don't be, it's just an interview. And there's something to be said for terrible driving, in my view. Is there anything that you're incorrigibly awful at vis-à-vis the operation of vehicles?
Oh, I never indicate.
Never?
Well, I did once. But I'd like to race around tight corners and then crawl slowly along straight bits of road.
Good. But you don't own a watch, do you?
No.
Well, that's all right. I'd have to ask you to leave it behind if you did. We consider it bad sport in the bus driving fidelity to know exactly where you should be and at what time. Are there any social skills that you might conceivably bring to the bus driving job?
Well, I have perfected one ability that I think might be extremely helpful.
You don't say.
I just did say.
So you did. Well, Mr. Johnson, I think...
Wait! At least let me show you my vacant stare.
Alright, show me your vacant stare. Well, Mr. Johnson, on that evidence, I have to say I think you're an ideal candidate to drive one of our buses. Here are the keys, and as they say in France, enjoy your new job as a bus driver.
But don't I need to fill out some paperwork, a test, or...
No, don't be silly. Now, get out there, and remember, when you see an old lady at a bus stop, drive on. When a child is trying to sit down on your bus, pull away as fast as possible. When you see a homeless person...
And now for a segue that was entirely intended and doesn't interrupt the action at all, here is the man who can open eggs without breaking the shells. My god, that went well, didn't
The thing about cliches is that at the end of the day they're more trouble than they're worth, innit?
Well, speaking as a man in the street, I object to the right for a free press. You've got to make the money somehow, otherwise Marx has won.
Hello there, and welcome to the next section. Can you not do that, please? Thank you. Hello there, and welcome to the next section. Can you please not do that? Hello there, and welcome to the next section. Oh, listen, I only get 10 seconds before they introduce the next sketch.
Well,
Yeah?
you know that amusing thing I said earlier?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Nobody likes repeating themselves.
Andrew,
Yes, Wilson?
do you remember that after you said that funny thing,
Yes.
I said a funny thing?
Oh, yes. Very funny.
Maybe we should maybe write that down and make it into some sort of comedy sketch.
I don't see why we would do that. We'd have to be comedians to do that. It's not like anybody would be watching either. I mean, who bloody hell has so little to do with be watching us do comedy?
Well, you can make a joke out of that.
What?
You can make a joke out of that.
That's a good idea. You know, what we could do is we could film us. We could film us behind the scenes thinking about filming the thing. No, thinking about remembering the thing that we thought of earlier. And it could be in a sort of amusing sort of back and forth.
That's the type of humour YouTube needs.
Yep.
And now, the weather. Hello and welcome to a very special comedy edition of Sketch Me My Legs. We're joined this evening, or whenever you're tuning in, because goodness knows this is the 21st century, by the comedy actor and sex tourist Matthew Weldon. Matthew, we've seen how little you're capable of so far this series, but tonight we want to focus more on physical comedy, alright?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to him. Right, well, physical comedy. Physical. It's the fourth most subversive form of comedy, Matthew. It isn't traditionally all that subversive. It can be. It can be. Documents recently discovered in China show that it contributed to the fall of the Qing dynasty in Tibet. in 1912. Anyway, let's be getting on with it, shall we? Well, first of all, I'd like you to pass me here the banana yonder. Thank you. Now, I'm going to put this down here, this banana peel, and what I would like you to do is I would like you to walk from this side of the little studio that we've improvised over to that banana tree just there.
Jolly good.
And I would like you to use one of the oldest props in all comedy, the banana peel, to do something physically funny. Alright, now I'm going to watch from over there. I'm going to give you some useful hints and advice, okay? So, on you go. Now I think you're getting much better at this, Matthew, I really do. I remember when you were just through there signing up for this. Now you see what I did there, Matthew? I used a subversive tactic to relax and then dazzle the audience. So what I want you to do is this. Lead the audience on and then pull the rug from out underneath them by doing something completely different. You see what I mean?
Okay, I think so.
Okay, so try again, I'll be watching.
Just from over here to the banana tree.
Over there. No, Matthew. What I meant is, look, you are the god of your comedy world, and you have to, I tell you what, stand over there, I want you to watch me for a second. You are the god of your comedy world, and you have to create the comedy ex nihilo, so, observe. See?
I think so.
See, comedy is like music, Matthew. You play the spoon, don't you?
Yes.
And you knew that there are only 2 notes in all of music. It's how you manage those notes that makes all the difference. So bearing that in mind, I want you to try once more. Bearing that in mind. Bearing that in mind. Try it again. Bearing that in mind. Just once more. Alright?
Jolly good.
I'll be watching. Now, I don't mean to stop you here, Matthew. You were going very well there. But you're not using the space, okay? You're in the vicinity, but you don't have a presence.
Okay.
What you need to do is
Dazzle on the meat.
DNA, just like we practiced. Okay, now there's a simple technique whereby you can be, don't mind that, that's funny, you see? Right. Now there's a simple technique whereby you can be walking in one direction, and as the space opens up behind you, you can simply dive back into it. You see? Subverting the expectations of the audience, amusing them. Alright? Now we also need to create an atmosphere of tension, whereby the audience is put on edge because anything could happen. I'm just reaching up to fix my hair. Oh no, I'm not. I'm walking. Now you see the audience will be in hysterics at this point, because they will be on the edge of their seats, and what I've just done there is I've pushed them off. So, bearing my example in mind, I want you to try just one more time. Alright?
Okay.
Matthew, imagine you saw a man walking down the street with no head. Now that would be awful in one respect, since he wouldn't have any trousers on. But in a comedy respect, it could also be funny. You see, it would be crazy, and craziness lies at the heart of all comedy. So bearing that last piece of advice in mind, and adding to it your own feelings of sadness, of loss, of custard, of cream, of cherries, of fruit blossom, of time, of loss and drivel. I want you to pretend you are that man walking down the street with no head. And I want you to try one last time. Because I think you're ready this time.
No head.
No head. Not even a little head.
Not even a little head. No head.
Matthew, come and join me.
We got no head.
No, you have to head back to the acting, the comedy has ceased. We are back in the improvised studio. Matthew, that was beautiful. You had me lost, floating in the clear crystal waters of the Himalayan lakes. I was a child again. It was quite something. Now, what I want you to do is this. I want you to leave. I want you to make some interstitials and build your comedy career from there. Now go.
You think I'm ready?
Go, child!
I wish I could read.
Well, speaking as a man in the street...
Oh, my fingers in the frame, sorry.
Well, speaking as a man in the street, I am...
The thing about cliches is that at the end of the day, I've lost the line again.
My knee's about to break.
Hang on. I'll give you a hand.
Ow.
Is that you down there?
Yes.
Are you going to speak it?
Yeah, I'm sure that was going to be... It was like comic drama was building there.
So we've heard what you think, but what do you think, our cultural correspondent, Mr. Tanima Bum? Bloody plane?
No.
Maybe we should just...
Very funny. That helps. No, hang on again. I do apologise. But
Really?
We're joined this evening by the comedy actor and sex tourist, Matthew Weldon. Matthew, we've seen how little you're capable of so far this series. It's been a long one.
Cultural correspondent think. Mr. Tanima Bum, what did that say?
Alright. Let's be getting on with it, shall we, Weldon?
Yes, sounds good to me.
Sorry.
It's just ridiculous.
Anyway, let's be getting on with it, shall we? Pass me that heather banana yonder. Sorry.
That's cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well. Anyway, first of all, Matthew, I'd like you to pass me hither banana yonder. Why?
Oh God, I was breaking from the moment we jumped back. I sat there with the biggest smile on my face.
Pass me hither banana yonder.
Hello there, and welcome to this next section of the... Listen, I only have 10 minutes before we start the next section of this. Up next, the art panel. Right, okay, just go again, just go again. This is not going to work. I'm not happy.
Shut up.
I'm on the show.
Well, don't throw it at the bloody shoals.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to. Right, okay.
Okay, so are you ready to catch this?
No.
Have you got one for me?
I really am not
Oh,
happy.
please, Weldon, I need to...
I'm not happy.
Can we just film this awesome thing? And
But
then...
it's not gonna work.
Alright.
That'll make a good gif. never gonna do that. I'm never gonna be able to do that.
Oh god, right.